Missing in action.
Kejriwal's absence does not affect routine governance, but cabinet meetings are not being held, hampering major policy decisions. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's life behind bars has crossed 100 days, marking an unprecedented chapter in Delhi's governance and politics. He remains defiant, holding on to his position as chief minister, but it has put the national capital in a situation it has never faced before. Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party claimed vindication when he was granted interim bail by the Supreme Court on July 12 in the money laundering case by the Enforcement Directorate in the purported liquor policy scam. However, Kejriwal's wait to walk out of jail continues as he is in CBI custody under the Prevention of Corruption Act in the same case. While granting bail to Kejriwal, the Supreme Court said it was up to him to decide whether he should continue as chief minister. But his legal team is confident that he will get bail in the CBI case as well. The center anticipated that the Supreme Court would grant him bail in the ED matter, so it got the CBI to arrest him, said Delhi Cabinet Minister Saurabh Bharadwaj. The burden of proof is on the CBI. It is just a matter of time that Kejriwal is released. Kejriwal's prolonged absence has raised serious concerns about governance. To make matters worse, the relationship between Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena and the state government is at its worst. Any public crisis turns into a blame game between the AAP and the BJP. The people in power are misbehaving and testing the limits of the laws, said former High Court Judge R.S. Sodhi. Delhi witnessed a record-breaking heatwave this summer in which more than 300 people lost their lives. This was followed by an acute water crisis, for which the AAP government blamed Haryana of not releasing the Yamuna waters. Delhi Water Minister Atishi went on an indefinite fast, while the BJP accused the AAP of colluding with the tanker mafia. The Saffron Party also targeted the Delhi government over the revision of power purchase adjustment charges by Discom's distribution companies. Said Delhi BJP chief Virendra Sachdeva, the goal of the Kejriwal government is only to fulfill personal interests. Another administrative issue that highlighted the divide between the state government and the LG was an order to transfer about 5,000 government school teachers who served in the same school for over 10 years. The process was halted after Atishi called on the LG to get the order revoked. She cited Article 239AA of the Constitution, which grants the Delhi government authority over matters in the state and concurrent lists. The AAP's political struggle, however, extends beyond governance issues. With Kejriwal in jail, the AAP attempted to fill the void by having his wife, Sunita, speak on behalf of her husband. However, following the AAP's disappointing performance in the Lok Sabha polls, the Sunita factor has diminished significantly. Experts contend that the morale of AAP workers has taken a hit. Senior leaders are in jail. Main strategists are leaving. The cadre is not visible on ground the way it used to be, said Kabul Ahmed, a Delhi-based political commentator. The limited boost the AAP received from being part of the India bloc appears to be diminishing as well, with the Congress blaming it for the Lok Sabha debacle. The Congress has also started raising governance issues. We will raise our voices on matters of public interest and welfare, said Anil Bharadwaj, chairman of the Delhi Congress's communication department. The Congress has also made clear that there will not be any seat-sharing agreement for the assembly elections scheduled for February. The assembly polls will be particularly challenging for the AAP, with a resurgent Congress and the BJP riding on its Lok Sabha success, said Ahmed. Meanwhile, questions about how long the capital can be governed with its chief minister in jail are growing louder. As the chief minister cannot give any written directions from inside the jail, he is verbally passing on messages through whoever comes to meet him, said Sunil Gupta, who served as a law officer and spokesperson for Tihar jail. There have been occasions when ministers such as Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj have gone to Tihar to take verbal directions. Recently, when Atishi went to meet Kejriwal, he directed her to talk to Himachal Pradesh and other states to ensure that the water crisis did not affect people, said Gupta. The fact that Kejriwal is not holding the charge of any ministry enables the movement of files without his signature. Sources said ministers were taking decisions on their own. The absence of the chief minister is not making much difference to the day-to-day functioning of the government. Ongoing schemes are continuing, but no major policy decisions have been taken since Kejriwal's arrest, said a Delhi government official. Political observers, however, say that signing of files is not the only job for a chief minister. Holding cabinet meetings, meeting the LG and union ministers and performing site inspections are some other responsibilities that are equally important. No cabinet meeting has been held since Kejriwal's arrest. Moreover, Kejriwal's strategy of communicating decisions and messages through his lawyers and his wife also appears to be slackening. The AAP is fighting a multi-pronged battle, and the more Kejriwal stays in jail, the tougher it gets for the party, not just politically but also in terms of governance.
The word defiant refers to someone who shows resistance or bold disobedience, especially toward authority or rules. A defiant person typically refuses to comply or follow orders, often in a challenging or rebellious way. For example, if someone refuses to follow instructions and does so in a way that challenges the person giving the orders, they are being defiant.
Give 2 examples of being defiant.
Sure. Here are 2 examples of being defiant. 1, a student refusing to leave the classroom after being asked by the teacher and instead arguing back. This shows resistance to authority and refusal to follow instructions. 2, a protester standing up to law enforcement during a demonstration despite being told to disperse. This demonstrates bold disobedience and defiance against the orders given.
Marking an unprecedented chapter in Delhi's governance. What does it mean? What is the meaning of vindication?
The phrase, marking an unprecedented chapter in Delhi's governance, suggests that something new and significant has happened in the way Delhi is being governed. It indicates a moment in history where something unique or without precedent has occurred, setting a new direction or standard in the governance of the city. As for the word vindication, it means proving that someone or something that was previously criticized, doubted, or accused is actually correct, justified, or innocent. Vindication often comes after a struggle or challenge, showing that one's actions or beliefs were right all along. For example, if a person is falsely accused of something and later evidence shows they were innocent, that person would feel vindicated.
Okay, so explain vindication as much as you can.
Certainly. Vindication is a concept that revolves around the idea of proving one's correctness, innocence, or justification after facing doubt, criticism, or accusation. When someone is vindicated, it means that they are shown to be right, valid, or justified, often after being questioned or challenged. Imagine a situation where a person is accused of wrongdoing, such as being blamed for a mistake at work. Even though others believe they are guilty, they maintain their innocence. After an investigation, it is discovered that the mistake wasn't their fault at all. In this case, the person is vindicated because the evidence proves that they were right all along. The feeling of vindication can bring a sense of relief, validation, and justice, especially after enduring criticism or doubt. Vindication doesn't always involve legal matters. It can happen in personal, professional, or public contexts. For example, a scientist whose theory was initially dismissed might be vindicated when later research supports their findings. Or, someone who stands up for an unpopular opinion might feel vindicated when their perspective is eventually accepted or proves to be correct. Vindication also carries an emotional aspect. It's not just about being proven right. It's about overcoming adversity, skepticism, or injustice. It can be a powerful experience because it validates the person's beliefs, actions, or decisions, especially after enduring negativity or opposition.
Fill the void. FILLVOID void. What does it mean?
The phrase fill the void means to provide something that is missing or to satisfy a need or gap that exists, often emotionally or psychologically. It can refer to filling an absence or emptiness in someone's life, whether due to the loss of a relationship, a lack of purpose, or any kind of emptiness that someone feels. For example, after a breakup, A person might try to fill the void left by their former partner by focusing on hobbies, spending time with friends, or pursuing new interests. In a broader sense, it can also refer to addressing any kind of deficiency or need, such as a company filling the void in the market by offering a new product or service that wasn't available before.
What is the meaning of slackening? Slackening.
The word slackening refers to the act of becoming slower, less intense, or less tight. It can be used in different contexts. 1. Speed or activity. When something is slackening, it is slowing down or reducing in pace. For example, if the wind is slackening, it means the wind is becoming less strong or intense. 2. Tension or tightness. It can also mean something is becoming looser or less tight. For instance, if a rope is slackening, it means the rope is becoming less taut or tight. Overall, slackening involves a decrease in intensity, speed, or tension.
Narrate a story with all these vocabulary.
Here's a short story that incorporates all the vocabularies we've discussed: defiant, unprecedented, vindication, fill the void, and slackening. In a small town, there was a girl named Mira who had always been defiant against the norms. She questioned everything, from the strict rules of her school to the traditional expectations placed upon her. Her rebellious nature didn't sit well with everyone, and she often found herself in trouble, especially with the town's elders, who viewed her resistance as disrespectful. One day, an unprecedented event shook the town. The local factory, which had been the town's main source of income, suddenly shut down. The townspeople were left without jobs, and despair filled the air. This event marked a new and difficult chapter in the town's history, unlike anything they had faced before. Despite her defiant nature, Mira felt the weight of the town's suffering and decided to step up. She had always believed in the power of education and creativity. While others saw her ideas as foolish, she started teaching art and entrepreneurship to the younger generation, hoping to fill the void left by the factory's closure. She believed that these skills could help the town find new ways to survive. At first, people doubted her efforts. Some mocked her, thinking that teaching art and small business skills wouldn't make a difference in such tough times. But Mira was persistent. Slowly, as her students began to create and sell their handmade goods, the town started to see a glimmer of hope. Mira's efforts brought new life into the community. Her vindication came when a few of her students managed to open small shops, and some even found success online, selling their products beyond the town. The people who once doubted her began to acknowledge her vision. The sense of pride she felt wasn't just for herself, but for the entire town that had managed to rise from despair. Over time, the tension in the town began slackening. The once heavy atmosphere of loss and uncertainty started to ease as more and more people joined in on the new wave of creativity and entrepreneurship. What had begun as a seemingly defiant act against tradition turned into the town's salvation. Mira's journey wasn't easy, but in the end, she proved that sometimes being defiant and following your own path can lead to something remarkable. Her efforts didn't just fill the void left by the factory's closure, they reshaped the entire town's future. I hope this story effectively uses the vocabulary in a meaningful context.
Definitely. If somebody is claiming vindication, so what does it mean?
If someone is claiming vindication, it means they believe they have been proven right or justified after being doubted, criticized, or accused. Essentially, they are saying that the outcome or evidence now supports their actions, beliefs, or decisions, showing that they were correct all along. For example, if a person was blamed for a failure at work, but later it's revealed that they weren't at fault, they might claim vindication. It's a way of saying, I was right, and now everyone can see it.